People have these lovely visions of living in our sweet little quaint downtown Sarasota. They're close to the water. They're thinking, I'm going to hang up those car keys and walk most everywhere I want to go. Now, all these things certainly have potential, but they may not unfold like you envision. So in this video, this is part one of living in downtown Sarasota. And in this video specifically, I'm going to focus on clarifying what most people are surprised about. So here are 3 things you definitely need to know about living right here in downtown Sarasota. Number 1, the walkability. Now, when I talk about downtown Sarasota, I'm going to talk about the heart of it. So this is the area that's to the west of 301, south of Fruitville, north of Mound, which is Mound is really 41 or Tamiami Trail, but they call it Mound in this one little section. And then with the Sarasota Bay to the west. The area itself isn't very large at all, and people have walked it. They've come to visit. They've walked down Main Street and Palm Avenue, and then they say, Jill, I want to get a place and I want to walk everywhere. I want to get coffee, go to Whole Foods, catch a movie or a show, go out to eat, all without breaking a sweat because your downtown area is so small. Well, there's definitely potential for that, but the question is, how far are you really willing to walk? Now, in recent years, thankfully, there's been more commercial properties that have been added. There's a building called The Mark, where it's residential on the top, commercial down at the bottom, which does help with that walkability. But if you're at the far south end of Palm Avenue in a condo there with a lovely water view, there isn't as much to get to in a short distance. So maybe walking to Whole Foods with all of your purchases may not be as thrilling as what you anticipated. It might be a little bit of a long haul. So like I said, there's maybe some better and worse locations for walkability or even bikeability. I just want you to be aware of that as you begin to house hunt or condo hunt, because sometimes people are a little disappointed with their expectations. Number 2, the beaches. Here's something that people don't always realize, but I like to point out that in the Sarasota area, we do not have any true beaches on the mainland. You have to cross a bridge to get your little toes in the sand. So what's nice with downtown Sarasota, the Ringling Bridge is right there. It's just northwest section of the downtown area. You go over the bridge, you go through St. Armand Circle, Lido Beach is right there. If you also sneak down Osprey to the south or pick up 41, go to Siesta Drive, you're at Siesta Key Beach. So that's really great. So they're close by, but there are no beaches that are walkable from downtown Sarasota. Of course, the marina's there, the bay is there, there's water there, but there are no beaches right there. I would like to introduce myself real quick. My name is Jill Thomas. I'm a real estate agent here in the Sarasota, Florida area. I'm just south of Tampa, and I've been a real estate agent here since 2008. But each week, what I do is I want to educate you, help you to make really good decisions for yourself. So I bring videos about real estate here in our area and then just the Florida area in general. So if you've been thinking about making a move here or maybe escaping our area, this could be a good channel for you to follow. But really, in the end, I would like for you to reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help. Call, text, email me. There's a link down below to my calendar. You can schedule a 30-minute phone call. Whatever's best for you. Please know I'm here to help you out so you can make those good decisions and you don't have any regrets down the road. Okay, so we're talking about downtown Sarasota, we're talking about walkability, we're talking about beaches. Now let's dig in and talk about the types of properties and their price points. First, living in downtown Sarasota offers a lot of condominiums, but a lot of them are quite a bit older, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So when we're talking about buildings like that, units like that, they're going to have lower ceilings. They're maybe going to need some significant updating. Some of them don't even have washers and dryer hookup in the unit, but it's going to be somewhere on the floor or in the building. Then there's some buildings from the 90s, early 2000s, and actually they're still building today. They're tearing down some older homes, older properties, or older commercial properties, and building new, condo buildings there, and some of them are really tall and skinny. But I want to point out to you that a lot of those older buildings have taken the prime real estate, the prime location for views of the water of the bay, those direct views. So this is along Palm Avenue and Gulf Stream. Now, some of these units that are right next to each other will have, one might have a Palm Avenue address, one have a Gulf Stream address. It just depends on what side of the building the front door is. And then there's a few buildings from the 90s right there too. But the newest buildings are definitely inland more. They're a little bit more east. So what that means is it doesn't mean that you can't have a really great view or a nice view, but you're not going to be looking directly west with nothing else blocking that view. So keep that in mind too. Again, we want to set these expectations. Now, there is one exception to all of this. Golden Gate Point is a small peninsula right off of downtown. It's on your left-hand side before you go over the Ringling Bridge. And because of that small peninsula, there's some really great water views from newer buildings there. But you have to walk, again, a little bit farther to get to downtown, to get to Main Street or Palm Avenue, where the bulk of the commercial properties are. There's also a lot of really beautiful homes in the downtown area. Many of them are really charming, older historic homes. There are some newer ones that have been, because these older homes have been torn down and people have built something new and more modern. Now let's talk about the prices. At the low end, the prices are around $500,000 for a very small condo, most likely needing some updating. I also want to mention that some of these older condos have some really quirky things about the units themselves or even about the building, which will impact the price. So if you see something that looks good at a screaming deal, there's probably a story behind that. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now in this video, but I just want to point that out to you. Now, currently, of what's on the market of all the properties, homes and condos, about 25% of them are under the $1 million price point. The sweet spot for downtown is between $1 and $4 million, but there are some even up to $10 million. We've got a Ritz-Carlton there, so it's not super cheap, I'd say, or very economical to live downtown. And I'm not even touching on the condo dues. So those things can really add up. But that's what you get for being in a great location, close to the beaches, that walkability, all of that good stuff. You know, there's a lot going on there. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to work on some other videos in the future to discuss what else you need to know about living in downtown Sarasota. And really, if you have other ideas that I could discuss, please drop it in the comments below. And of course, if you're thinking of buying here and you like what you see, come through me for your next property. I'm here to help you out. Now, on to one thing I love and one thing I hate about the Sarasota area. Okay, here's something I really love, and it's very silly, but when I tell people who come to our area about it, they're really glad I did. So in the Sarasota area, we have a little grocery store that's kind of set up more like a farmer's market, and it's called Detweiler's. So first of all, Detweiler's is great all by itself. That could be something. But at Detweiler's, they have something there called corn cob bacon. And I think this is the best bacon out there. It is so delicious. And when I tell people about it and then they go buy it, they agree. And they're so glad I mention it, because you buy it in the deli department or they have some pre-packaged, but it's their bacon. I don't know how they make it. I don't know why it's called corn cob, but it's fantastic. And for the most part, it doesn't shrink a whole lot when you cook it. And really the price isn't so bad. And sometimes when it's on sale, you gotta stock up and freeze it. So check out the corn cob bacon at Detweiler's. Now, here's something I hate, and again, this might seem a little silly, but I grew up north in Toledo, Ohio, and I moved down here as a young adult. So I've been down here my entire adult life. And of course, experiencing the holidays up north, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year's, it was always cold. And that's what I remember. It's in November now. I'm recording this. We're heading into the holidays. It's not cold here, and it doesn't really get cold until January. And so we'll go through the holidays, and then January comes, and then there's a disconnect between my brain, my body, everything, where I think we should be having the holidays now. It's actually cold out right now. And so I struggle with that. And I know that's kind of a silly thing, but it's just maybe more sentimental or what have you. But anyway, I point that out to people as well. And at first, people think it's just the most grand thing, that they don't have to shovel snow. They're not freezing cold. They can be outside. They can go to the beach for the holidays. They love it. And at first I did too. And that's the one thing maybe I kind of miss. I wish it was cold for just one day, but I don't have to shovel snow, so that's okay. Well, I appreciate you watching all the way to the end here. If you like this video, I ask you to hit the like button. Again, I'm here to help you out. If there's anything I can do for you, please reach out to me. Thanks so much. Have a great day.